Hello and welcome to this next Banana Loaf tutorial. This one is on this weird lead here. So on its own. And where is it? Without the effects. So as you can hear, it's basically 90% effects. So then, let's get cracking. I'm going to open it in another citrus and make it again. Right. Default, where are you? Okay, jazzy. Okay, so the first operator is, like I've done a lot of times, almost a saw, but not quite. And for whatever reason, I turned it down an octave. The second one is also nearly a saw, but not quite as much. Down 2 octaves. This is a multiplier, by the way, so every time it doubles, that's up an octave, and every time it halves, that's down an octave. So, yeah, where were we? 0.5. The next was just a sine at 3 times, which makes everything sound quite a lot rougher. So when you have some kind of odd number, presumably there's some kind of dissonance, like the waves don't quite line up perfectly, so you end up with a sort of harsh roughness, which at low numbers isn't that bad, but at really high odd numbers it's like brrr, it's terrible. But so yeah, 3 times makes it sort of rough and graty. Operator 4 is used in FM, I think, but I didn't actually touch it. So let's see. Well, it's used in something, but I didn't touch it. Okay. So the FM matrix looked a little something like that, and that's all there is to it. So, has this still got the effects on? Yes. So we're nearly there now. There was a little bit of RM. Well, actually quite a lot of RM. Looking something a little along these sort of lines, I think. Well, it sounds right. Yes. So that is basically the bass sound complete. So. And I won't have made it in this order. I will have just gone operator 1, operator 2, randomly made them almost a saw, FM'd them together, and then bothered with changing the pitch of both of them probably. And then I will have added operator 3 and 4. In fact, I didn't add operator 4 at all, it's only used because I just happened to turn this knob here. But it worked. As always, mod is assigned to mod X for operator 1, meaning that I can do this. Now, when I first made this sound, it was originally designed to be a growl, which is why it's called Growly in the playlist, because it was supposed to be a growl originally. And if I pitch it down quite far, you can kind of hear it. Oh, maybe not that far. So that could be the bass of a growl, but it's not very good. And I remember being really frustrated when I first made it because it sounded so terrible and I'd spent so long on it, but I later used it as a lead to some success. So there goes that. So I'm just going to delete that and go back to the original, which is here. Turn on the effects and go through those. So step 1, wave shaper. The actual shape is kind of arbitrary, but I think I mentioned in a previous video, if you have really steep lines, then it tends to distort it quite a lot more. So I think I should probably turn the effects on actually. You'll also notice this control surface at the end, which is attached to various things, I'm not sure what, but this was still supposed to be a growl at this point, I think. So right now you can see that it's assigned to mod X here. Oh, I just turned the knob, so there we go. Okay, format 8, format filter, we all know what those are. So at this point it was still supposed to be a growl, so probably would have sounded something like this, which is pretty shit for a growl. And another wave shaper because it was really quiet, so I decided to add another one afterwards to sort of make it a bit louder and harsher, I suppose. Bit of compression because it sounds really sort of dry and thin right now, so. And I think it was probably around here some point where I decided it was going to be a lead. So so Camel Crusher, but for distortion. So fat mode is on, and there's a little bit of distortion. So. And then Vocodex just as a compressor like normal to sort of make it sound a lot wetter. As always, I only really messed with these 3 knobs here, well, these 4 knobs here, and the order, and the number of bands. Nothing there, and the wet is turned up, but that's about it. So yeah, whenever I throw Vocodex on something to compress it, I always just sort of choose some random order and just keep messing around with these knobs until I find some sort of configuration that I like. So far all this growly knob is doing is Mod X and Format 8. Next we have an EQ. So I think this was probably where I decided it should be a lead. Got rid of all this bass, and there was a lot of shit here, so I got rid of all that too. It sounds much cleaner. Lots of unnecessary BS has been cut out there. And finally, a dimension expander. Bang. Ugh. By the way, if you press F12, closes everything. Genius. And if you press, if you press Control F12, it closes everything but the current window, which wasn't the one I thought it was, but never mind. Anyway, that just about does it for that sound as far as I can remember. So, I'll see you in the next one.